Coming up tonight, Riot rolls out patch 4.5. Get the details on all the changes. Hearthstone is officially now available on iPad. Find out all about it, and we will walk you through the highlights of LCS EU. Come on in, it's time for the ESGN News. Hello and welcome to Studio One in Babelsberg, Germany. It's me, Jay Atkins, reporting in for another great day of eSports news. So, today in eSports history, April the 3rd of course, and on this day in eSports history, Pro Dota 2 unveiled a brand new online league in 2012. Top Dota 2 teams from all over the world were invited. This tournament was split into 3 regions, America, Europe and, believe it or not, Asia, with a total of $30,000 in cash awarded on the end of the first season. Let us now start the show with Brian Fluff Lee. The former support for Team Liquid will team up with former Team Liquid teammate Michael Mike88 Genham to form a new squad called Sneaky NYX Assassins. In his controversial blog, he talked about the lack of friendship within his old team and how the old squad needed a captain. With this new team, Fluff's wish will come true as he will be taking up the position of captain in the new squad. The roster of Sneaky NYX Assassins consists of former Fnatic RC player Bryant Whitebread Lewald, Chris Usher, Vanessa SNA Sockham, and Lee's former Liquid teammate Michael Mike88. The team also won their first amateur tournament, Dota's Trash's King of the Hill, beating Revenge Esports 2-1. They will also compete in the ESL 1 online qualifiers for a chance to win a spot to the LAN finals in Frankfurt. We wish the guys over at the new team, and Fluff himself especially, all the best of luck in their future endeavours. So time now to move on to Counter-Strike. Global offensive competitive scene has seen a new fearsome roster. Last night, the competitive lineup for the new team of Webspell was announced. Almost 2 weeks after parting ways with the multinational roster, the scouting process for fresh talent has come to an end. With the signing of Julian Krav Hernandez, the Frenchman was asked to form a new team to represent Webspell in the competitive CSGO scene. Webspell manager Day stated, and I quote, "I decided to give to Krav the freedom to create a competitive team. Without hesitation, Krav contacted his former Web1 teammates Bryce and Tits. The Web1 trio was already known for great coordination and teamwork. The 2 remaining spots took a little bit longer to set, but after a week of tryouts and scouting, Surov, who had previously played for Webspell, as well as Pure, were added to the roster to finalise the setup." With the all-French roster, Webspell once again are trying to make themselves stand out in the European pro scene. Webspell seems to be very confident about the team and their future. Day commented on the announcement, saying, "We surrounded ourselves with motivated, talented players, and especially with trust to be able to work with them in the long run. Best of luck to Krav and his fellow countrymen." Si senor, the Rango OP. Riot came up with a ton of changes in patch 4.5. Let's start with Rangar. Not enough health? Don't worry. He will have an extra 5 HP per level. He will also get invisibility at the start of his leap. The base damage of his Q skill has been reduced, but scales with extra 0.2 attack damage with each level, which is 1.2 in total, of course. While the attack speed buff on his normal Q has been removed, it still exists on his Empowered Savagery. He also received a 10% buff for 5 seconds, and the cooldown was reduced by 2 seconds. Nothing big, really. His Battle Roar will now heal for more health, and the cooldown is set at 12 seconds for each level. Rengar was way too easy. Well, make his E-skill a skill shot, but let's double the range and improve the slow and root duration. But don't forget the damage, improve the damage, of course. There also are changes to his ultimate, as the movement speed buff was reduced, but it will now last for 5 seconds at 45%, with 3 skill points after he breaks his stealth. On top of that, 1 ferocity will be generated for 5 seconds after being visible again. To balance his ultimate, all targets within a range of 1,000 units will be alerted but are not given any vision of him. White Shark modus activated, of course. With his special bone tooth necklace, that will no longer give any extra damage or armor penetration anymore. It will become a trinket. But it will not lose any stacks. Gragas in general loses a ton of damage, loses his mana sustain as well, but to compensate, he gets a 1-second stun on his body slam and a good buff on his passive. While several champions were nerfed slightly, like Lee Sin for one, Heimerdinger another, and Kha'Zix, Miss Fortune did receive a pretty decent reworking as well. She now scales better into late game and gets more poke ability in the early game with her Q spell. She also gets synergy between her W and ultimate, as the W passive, which is more damage on each consecutive hit, now gets procced by each ultimate bullet. Another short but important change is the return of Hook City, as Fresh's Lantern now works with Blitzcrank's Grab Game. That will be fun to say the least. So that's it for the overview of the champion changes. Let's talk about the long-awaited new item, the Feral Fleur. It finally hit the servers and initiates the return of uncommon jungle champs, especially for the ones who prefer to farm with a fast jungle clear like Master Yi, for example. Once you've killed 25 large jungle monsters with the Wriggles Lantern, it will upgrade into Feral Fleur, which has a unique passive with the ability to trigger 100 damage and 10 health on every basic attack. 67% reduced damage on champions, however. What makes it so special is that every large monster kill, an assist, and every kill will give you a stack which increases the passive ability damage by 3 and the heal amount by 1. Additionally, it is not limited and can stack to infinity and beyond. So farm up and take the stack to the pay window, basically. Besides the new Rumble skin, Super Galaxy, Rumble 2 new recipe items were introduced, and also the rune changes, which are to support new items and obviously new builds. The different rune builds, as well as several other item mastery changes, are all going to be a big part of the meta. Well played, and Texas Esports Association came together to host an esports event in Austin, Texas. The event is called Lone Star Clash 3, with the featured games like League of Legends and StarCraft 2. The StarCraft 2 Invitational and League of Legends Challenger Invitational will both have a prize pool of $15,000, and the Ivy LoL Season 3 finalists will have a prize pool of $5,000 to take home. At the StarCraft 2 Invitational, you can also win World Championship Series points worth 1,800. The League of Legends event will feature 4-team double elim, best of 3 format, while the StarCraft 2 event will have 16 players, of which 11 are invited, 4 qualified, and 1 player comes from a Collegiate Star League qualifier. The top 2 players from each group will then advance to the single elimination playoffs. The event is set to take place between the 3rd and 4th of May at the North Austin Event Center in Texas. So Blizzard dropping the bomb with the release of Hearthstone. Obviously, tournaments are developing, esports organizers are signing professional esports teams, and organizers are signing professional Hearthstone players, and the community is growing day by day. But that's not it, as Blizzard comes up with another big step in Hearthstone. Yes, it goes to the iPad. Blizzard recently started the rollout today, and people in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand are now able to play the card game on their iPad. Of course, the other regions around the world will follow soon, as basically it sets up all the features and excitement of deck building and dueling against your friends that are currently available for the PC right now, directly to your fingertips, of course. The only thing you need is an internet connection, and you are good to go. For those concerned about it being a separate client, we can confirm that your card collection and data is shared across all devices you are playing on. So time now for a break. When we return, we will take a look back at all the action from the LCS EU this week. We will bring you some fun highlights from the Dota StarLadder League, and we'll also take a look back at Battlefield's first ESL One Cup. Don't go anywhere, ESGN News shall be right back. Welcome back to the desk. Time now to take a look at the second day of the European LCS. Alliance making headlines yet again, but this time not in a good way. It's more about Millennium and the time to shine, as they defeated Alliance, making it a 2-game winning streak. The game itself was a long one, as Alliance made a comeback at their own Nexus around about the 38-minute mark. Millennium took another team fight and were rewarded with a Baron pickup, which led to their victory at 50 minutes. The streak didn't last long though, as Millennium lost their second game against Roccat in a lackluster game. Until 24 minutes, it was all about positioning and farming. Just 6 kills had fallen by that point, but right after, Roccat started to Baron. While doing so, Millennium's decision to contest it cost them dearly. losing 2 people, and from then on, the goal lead increased exponentially for Roccat, of course. After 30 minutes, the final clash started, if you can call it that. I mean, the final clash was a bit one-sided, to be perfectly honest, and, well, it was basically about several pickup kills. So, right now, SK Gaming are currently sat atop the standings with 17 wins and 10 losses. The only team who can test their position in the LCS throne are Fnatic, who currently have 16 wins and 11 losses. They have to play Roccat and need Millennium support since SK has to play against the team in the last spot. Can they stop another team? Well, remains to be seen. The best case scenario for Roccat would be a win from Millennium and a win from themselves, of course, against Roccat. That would at least leave them tied with SK. So Millennium, on the other hand, they're already eliminated from the playoffs. Both teams have to fight for the 7th place, as it's the spot with the ability to choose their opponent in the relegation battle. Speaking of Millennium, let's take a look at some of the highlights of their match versus Alliance.
Gotta be careful. Gonna jump on Wicked. He does not have flash available.
He's gonna get caught out. There's the void spike. There's the claw. Wicked's gonna go down here. I don't think he's gonna be able to escape. He's got nothing to get away from it. It's Konex with first blood.
Control. Oh, they've caught Creaton.
The hook goes down. Creaton's gonna get pulled straight back into this one. Barrier's not enough, and he goes down. And now J-Re, well, Konex comes in there. Wasn't expecting Shook to join the party. Mega Inferno bomb. Nif's gonna get pounced on by Konex. He got flayed away. J-Re gets taken down, and he runs straight into Froggen, who turns around, puts that wild growth down. He's actually tanking the dragon round as well. Doesn't really care about it. It's going to be 3 kills and a dragon for Alliance.
Didn't do it. So Smite was available, gets caught out. They've caught Froggen.
They've caught Froggen. Wild growth used straight away. You do try and keep him at bay here. Kevin caught by the choppers. He's going to go down. The super mega death rocket from Tabs there enough. Death sentence flying in out, but not finding his target this time around.
Seeing how well Alliance actually played that one, I almost think to myself it may have been a bait. There were so many members of Alliance set in place, and the moment Froggen put the wild growth, there was chompers behind him. Now here comes Shook from the side.
4-man ultimate coming out from Shook. They're catching the slowdown, but Konex sinks his teeth in towards one. Gets on towards Tabs, gets the reset. He can go for a 3rd here. Wicked taking a lot of damage. Konex going to tank up that turret, and it will go down very, very low on this one. Tabs might fancy himself a cheeky kill on the towards Curve here, but the Baron is being tanked down. It will get taken. And Millennium, they get away scot-free, and they may even get themselves a kill here. A hook from J-Will will be the death sentence for Wicked, and I don't think he's going to be able to get away. He tries to turn it around, but just gets bounced and pounced around. Well, those mines get thrown down. There's a hook from Nif, but Nif taken so low, and there's a hook of their own. Wicked gets bounced around, pinned up like a football there, just do kick-ups, and they do take him down, no problem. That's another 2 kills for Millennium and a tower. They can push through the base.
They definitely can. 5 on 3 right now with Guardian Angels on their side. The inhibitor turret is down. They're going to get the inhibitor as well. Alliance, they're going to be hard-pressed to defend the siege.
That's going to be the inhibitor down, and Millennium are not done there. It's a 30-second death timer on both Wicked and Nif. They're pushing through. They get one Nexus down. They go towards the second. Shook comes in, gets Agony's Embrace down. The super mega death rocket comes out. It's a good turnaround. Is it going to be enough, though? Tabs is going to try and take another down. Kevin's very low. They can't tank this one up. Tabs is going to chase on towards him, but he quickly gets turned around. Creates a putting the damage back down on him. Froggen gets out. He gets Konex down. The rest of Millennium have to back away. Froggen fancies another kill. Lich Bane glistening. Gets the shots off. Kevin's going to get taken down. It's a double for Froggen. And Alliance live to fight another day. The Guardian Angel gets popped. Kirby with the Zonyas. He's going to get taken down. They're going to come rotate back around. Froggen off to the right-hand side right now is taking him down. Kirby doing the damage, though. He will get taken down eventually. Oh, Froggen nearly went headlong. There's mines there, Froggen. Step away. Lamb on the Lucian ultimate. The culling all over Nif and Wicked. And that shield coming out. There's the Mega Inferno bomb. It call on Tabs. That may be the target. That may be the trigger. Shook goes in. Agony's Embrace running in towards him. Konex actually took caught out here, but his Guardian Angel is back up. He uses that ultimate, manages to defend all that. Wicked taken so low. Konex jumps in, jumps out, gets the kill, and now Alliance forced back on towards it. Kirk comes in. He's got the Zony's Hourglass available. The rocket grab comes out, and now it's going to be Millennium taking down Alliance. I do not believe what is happening in this game.
So enough of League of Legends, let's talk about StarLadder. The European division will conclude soon, and yesterday we had 4 really interesting matchups, the first of which was Team Empire taking on Virtus Pro. The Russian squad had no problems defeating Virtus, forcing a GG call after 26 minutes. After that, Na'Vi played 3 matches against NextKZ, MYM and Cloud9. Na'Vi, of course, taking a clean sweep, earning themselves a victory from every game.
So aggressive, threatening for that Eclipse. Right. There's their last, so they found Puppey on the backside of the fight, and Bone7
will secure the kill. Buybacks instantly, and now they'll look to defend here. They do have the Spectre, no Relic up, but if they win this fight, it'll be good. But Blink, Ravage way on the mark for Sing Sing. Huge damage done this day. The Eclipse was there, but a double-edged follow-up does decent work. I don't think it's enough, though. Havost is now on an island, on his own, has to run for the fountain, and Envy Lucid beams him. They keep on blinking forward. The Centaur's butt bagging, just watching Havost be dove through the well, try to TP out to the tower and cut off the path of retreat. They have not taken Rax yet. There's your stomp. Now the double edge comes through. They bring down the Rubik, but Funnick, this could well be a dieback for him. Envy still alive, triple kill, never even lost his Aegis. They've come around from the side. Lasso has been found out Denny in the backside. He maxed up though. He gets off the EMP Tornado, but he does not catch Sing Sing. Now the EMP does huge damage, but the Eclipse comes through. Is it going to be enough? Puppey keeps himself alive with the Grave. They bring down Sing Sing. 4 heroes, and the Aegis lost as well. Havost with the triple kill. They're holding on to high ground. Now Envy could be next. Pops the Mantis out. Another Blink. A double edge. He doesn't want to use it. They don't even need it. Full team wipe. Aegis down. Na'Vi find a way. The legendary Mask of Madness. Bone 7 Batrider goes in. Does find Havost, but Havost has saved for buyback here. The Ravage was even blown, and Havost is just going to buy back. Now he hunts in immediately, instantaneously rejoins the fight, and he's going to jump right in. Now they have no Ravage, no way to fight the Spectre in round 2. Even with the Eclipse, Havost just tanking through it. Brings down once again EE-sama, and they've brought down 4 in the midst of the chaos.
Uh-oh, this is really
It's like
bad.
2 minutes with no buyback. If they can bring him down, what a prize to be had. Havost dropping low. The Ravage even thrown out. Eclipse as well. They're all dying to the dispersion, though. They lost 2. Havost just smiling. Like, sure, you get the kill on me, guys, but it costs you. Dendy, maybe if he doesn't get the BKB off, in comes the Ravage. Dendy's still alive, though. Graved up from long range. Now just BKBs. Turns around. Luna's the clips. Just not enough, it looks like. Everyone tanking through it with the pipe damage as well. Havost diving the well. Classic Havost play. Now your Tornado on the top, and they'll bring down more. Havost just won't stop. They'll lose the Rubik here, and now they'll lose Eternal Envy as well. Diffused up, finished off. Cheese hardly even makes a difference. And Envy calls the GG. Wow. Na'Vi, they take down Cloud9 here. It looked awful.
Well, our partners from GameFi bring us an in-depth recap of the LSPL match between SPG and TC. Let's take a look right now, shall we?
Yesterday was the 20th scheduled day of Chinese LSPL 2014, where the new LoL team SPG met up with TC in a thrilling game. In Game 1, the play of both sides was on par with each other by virtue of constantly exchanging kills. But SPG managed to accumulate an advantage and made a splash, killing Baron and winning the first game by pushing the final towers. In the next game, SPG got off to a relatively rocky start, yet afterwards their great tenacity throughout the contest enabled a solid comeback, bit by bit, eventually taking the game once again through a pentakill without any losses. After winning this BO2, SPG now ranks its 5th place in the league table of LSPL 2014 with 5 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses. It's not easy for a new team to have such a solid performance. After this match, our partner GameFi sat down with the coach, Tabe, who was also a famous pro LoL gamer, to get his view on these 2 games.
首先我先想跟大家分享一下第一把，大家应该注意到我们2把的 BP 都是一模一样的，都是 ban 了杰、瑞兹还有锤石，因为这3个英雄都是TC 都非常强悍的一个选择，所以而且我们也暂时没有想到克制他们这些英雄的办法，所以我们就选择 ban 了他们。然后渣当然在第一把的发挥很出色，因为我们看到寡妇打野呢是一直是可以说是无脑蹲着中路，但是我们的中单SPG 的中单。其实是用闪现屏障，还有他本身的 W 技能是救了自己很多次，可以基本上可以说是完美的破解了寡妇的 Salt Gank。怎么说呢？在对抗妖姬的 Poke 的时候呢，风女的 E 它的盾呢是有一个非常决定性的作用，而且有一波在对方奥巴马越塔强杀的时候，风女的被动带给了 ADC 的5%的移动速度，是刚好是勾引了对手的 AD 金塔，拿到了一个双杀。那接下来第2把呢？我觉得虽然是赢的比第1把是更为的艰辛，但是露露这个英雄在后期成长性呢是比元首更为好的，而且武器随着时间拖下去，有了破败之后，鳄鱼也开始打不过他，但是对手呢还是比较上头的，猴子一直逮着这个 武器来干，所以这把就感觉就是为了要攻击武器这个点呢，而放弃了整体局势。这个也是 TC 这把没有置信的原因。
So a massive thank you to our partners at GameFi. We look forward to hearing from them again soon. Now, from Star Ladder to StarCraft, I should say, this week marks the debut of the Acer Team Story Cup. The first 3 matchups have already been played, with NRS defeating Empire Fnatic 5-2. My Insanity faced off against Chinese squad Invictus Gaming, where Stardust achieved a 4-0 lead over IG, which Jachi wrapped up 5-2. With the Oriental TO to become a real classic was a matchup number 3. Most Sports facing Team Liquid. TL Snoot won the first 2 games, but Deer turned the tables and countered with 3 consecutive wins. Finally, though, the German organisation failed to defeat Hero, who won 3 games, making it a 5-3 in favour of Team Liquid. The Team Story Cup will continue on the 6th of April, and if this has got you hankering for more, make sure to check out taketv.net for further information and live coverage. Well, yesterday, our partner over at ESL concluded their first seasonal cup of the year for Battlefield 4. With a new lineup, Fnatic made their way to the finals, showing impressive form. Their opponents were the Russian roster of Epsilon eSports. The best of 3 was played on the maps Zavod, Operation Locker, and Siege of Shanghai, as the third map, of course. After establishing a lead of over 100 tickets, Fnatic managed to take the first half of Zavod with a diminished lead of just 31 tickets, winning the map after a nice comeback by Epsilon. The impressive performance by Fnatic's Unfixed definitely contributed to the teams taking the first map, with Unfixed finishing with an almost 2.5 KDR. Having won the first map, Fnatic moved on to Operation Locker, their map of choice in the veto. One might say Locker was a little bit one-sided after Fnatic finished off the first half being 70 tickets ahead. Totally capitalising on their superior positioning, the team as a whole stepped up their game without hesitation. In the end, they took both halves and finished the finals 2-0, taking home €500 and 100 points in the ESL 1.
We'll spot out 1 man, get the easy kill on the Asterix, and we'll get the Cat started over himself, and they do pick up the kills, and I don't know what the hell's going on, but they are just absolutely dumpstering. I'm going to use that word for... They're not running with an anchor, it seems, anymore, and everyone's pretty much getting around the same amount of kills.
Yeah, but Battlefield 4 was all about the kills anyway. Horrocks getting a 2v1 over A and the flag capture, that's very big for him. But yeah, more spawns coming. But for Fnatic, it's a really weird one anyway. Right now, Duke BT's the only one on the board for them. He needs to be careful. He gets taken out. That's a wipe. Epsilon are dead.
And it looks like Tweezy wants to push them over towards this A flag as well as Valu getting in the back spawn here. And let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to tag along with Valu. And 1 man to his left to spot him out. Gets the easy kill coming in. Let's see Unfix get the kill onto Hork here. Look for a second one onto the man art below him, but every kill they do get is another ticket gone. But look at that, 36 tickets to go now in the hands of Fnatic. They had, was it a 60-70 ticket lead here and completely lost it outright?
Yeah, pretty much. This is a brilliant comeback. Only 2 tickets left. I think Valutaja might eventually finish it off. There you go. But man, there you go. 31 tickets from what could have been a lot more.
31 is that number. Look at the backside. Valu coming in for the back, picking up 2 big kills. And that is most definitely going to be it here. That will be Fnatic picking up the first map in this best of 3 and forces us to go over to Operation Locker, which is going to be a really interesting map to see these teams play on.
Fnatic in a strong position right now.
50 kills to 34. Shocks 15 and 11. Look over the other side. 11 and 8, 9 and 7, 11 and 6, 10 or 8 and 13, 13 and 4. Like this is typical. This is not the Fnatic that we used to see. The Fnatic we used to see was too easy. And it was Valu always leading the team in kills. Now, everyone is stepping up. Everyone's playing so damn well here. And this actually scares me, is that if they can continue to be like this, they are going to be again the team to beat here. And I don't know, it's just weird how one person added to a roster or one person change can change the chemistry and can just completely change around how it works here. Because 70 tickets into Operation Locker for Fnatic over Epsilon, that is a giant lead.
But there you go, there's Too Easy sneaking around the back at A now. And man, this is going to be brutal if they don't get it. And there's Too Easy in the flag. 2 guys out near metal detectors. They're just going to flow into that A flag. And there you go, cleared up. Nothing Epsilon can do now.
Time now to take a short break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what is to come for the LCS NA this weekend, and we'll also bring you a preview of the GSL Code. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned to ESGN News. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the desk. As a friendly reminder, be sure you do not touch that browser after the news is finished because we have another exciting episode of Hearthstone Fight Night coming up right after. Stay tuned here at ESGNTV.com to catch all the action. With the LCS EU final week already underway, NA is next up. Starting from tomorrow, while the top teams of the LCS NA are fighting out for the throne, the bottom half of the standings are struggling to survive. Cloud9 and Team Solo Mid are tied in first place with 20 wins and just 4 losses. The final week will decide who shall earn the #1 spot. The dogfight for survival is between 4 teams: Evil Geniuses, XDG Gaming, Team Curse and Team Coast, who are all fighting for the spot in the playoffs as none of them wants to face the prospect of relegation. On this Friday, the heroes of Counterlogic Gaming meet the mastodons of Cloud9. Last week, CLG were able to end TSM's 6-game winning streak and gave Cloud9 the opportunity to reach the first place spot, which they did. This time, Cloud9's turn to play against CLG, and after last week, it should add pressure to which is already being felt by the boys over at C9. C9 have already been able to beat CLG twice this season, but also got crushed once as CLG were able to completely shut down Sneaky, who gained the well-deserved title of MVP last week with his Lucian play. CLG have to shut him down again, and with the fan favourite ADC double lift on CLG's side, it will be more than possible. Another matchup tomorrow will be Curse versus Team Coast. Team Coast are slightly favoured due to having a 2-to-1 ratio of victories over Curse this season. Team Curse's core player, Voyboy, who has greatly improved since the split, is still struggling a little bit, most likely due to his limited champion pool. This time, he is up against Shipfer in the mid lane, who proved himself as another core player besides Zion Spartan, making some pretty sweet moves this season so far. Both players should be targets to shut down, especially Zion Spartan, because when Team Coast wins their games, he almost in all occasions has the most gold and is by far their biggest threat. So Saturday, that will see the Clash of Titans finally rolling around again. The game I speak of course, is Cloud9 versus Team Solo Mid. So far, Cloud9 have a record of 2-1 against TSM, but that doesn't tell us too much, as it's anyone's game. After all, we are still talking about TSM. Team Solo Mid, of course, famous for the lane phasing, in which they often destroy the enemy, stealing the victory in the early game. The team synergy is also pretty strong and often decides clashes for them. In this case, they have to react fast to Cloud9's rotations, as they are some of the strongest in the league. In such a match, it is very hard to predict the MVP of the game, but Bjergsen has garnered a lot of attention for pulling off some amazing plays in the past. However, one player won't decide that match, and it will go down to team fights in the late game. It should be an intense one, as both teams are top-notch. 2 teams that want to avoid relegation and potentially claim a spot at the spring split playoffs, Evil Geniuses and XDG, will play off on Sunday. That will be against each other, of course. Both teams have yet to prove themselves and will give their all for this game, especially when it comes to closing the games, as they have both recently thrown surefire victories by virtue of poor team fight execution. Well, don't worry, RTS fans. Not only the LCS will bring you great games this weekend, the GSL Season 1 finals will be played on Saturday as well. And with Zest and So in it, there's sure to be some intense games. So let's take a closer look at our first finalist, Zest. So far, the Protoss player has not won any major tournament or series, making him the underdog in this matchup. With his incredible PvP skills and 2 great victories over Zerg players, he has a lot of potential, not to mention his all-kill against SK Telecom T1 during the Pro League in February.
Does have 12 structures at the moment. Only 2 Colossi on the field. Live coming forward. Doesn't have as many roaches as he necessarily want. Nice storms there on the roaches as well. Storms going down onto the Colossi. And Zest, again, another great engagement for him. Everything that Life is throwing at Zest, Zest is just pushing back and making these engagements work.
Yeah, Zest just has a better army composition here. I mean, roaches are not going to hold up in the late game against the Protoss Death Bowl. Life, of course, he never had the full economy to maybe make that Swarm Host tech switch, or he never had the super big gas bank to make a muted tech switch. Didn't feel confident going for Brood Lord, so he's stuck with just roaches, and Zest knows exactly how to play against a player stuck on roaches.
And there's the GG from Life.
Here we go. Looks like Kilo may set up a very large flank coming from multiple directions here. A lot more Ultras in the mix, but he still has so many in production. He's engaging without his full army, but it may be enough anyway. We can see the Ultras continuing to dish out so much damage. More and more units swarming out here. And there's still Immortals live. 1 Immortal fell. There's only 2 Immortals left.
Such a close fight, but Zest somehow comes out on top. Still 2 Immortals alive, 3 Colossi, and TLO going to throw down the GG. Zest is still alive and kicking.
So his opponent will be So, coming out of a pure Protoss group, with the Zerg player even managing to defeat the famous Parting 3-1. With achievements like first place at MLG versus Pro League back in 2013 and second place in the GSL Season 3, going 4-2 against Dia, So is definitely not unknown to the competitive StarCraft 2 scene.
Siege this area from the top. Oh, actually, he kills the Mothership core. That had full energy to try and stop that. That takes away a little bit of the defense posture. He's going to try and move in from the right to get that Colossus that was a bit vulnerable, but he doesn't get it in the end. A big, big engagement on multiple fronts here. Gets a few sentries with high energy. Very nice pick off there for Su. He's just moving forwards here. A few of these Colossi from the back are very, very vulnerable, and he's going to try and deal with that. This is such a weird engagement, but at the end, Su is going to prevail by the looks of things if he catches some of these Colossi.
Yeah, I mean, the sentries have been broken. The 3 Colossus remain, but with Roach speed and a lot of Roaches here, the Void Rays are gone. There's nothing but units streaming over here, and without any defense of these Colossus, can they survive without the defense in front of them?
Spine crawler's being made here. I mean, you got to be very careful. With good micro from the Zerg, this can be punished pretty easily. He is damaging that one drone.
Oh, beautiful micro.
Beautiful control so far.
Ridiculously good control. Are you joking me?
Are you kidding me? Is he not going to lose a single drone?
Okay,
gets one.
But the fact that he lost, like, okay, I guess he lost one over cross map.
So that's all the news that's fit to stream. Before we finish here, let's head over to the 5-day forecast. Starting with Friday, the LCS NA Super Week is heading our way. It all starts at 12 p.m. PST and will decide the #1 of North America. Catch the action over at twitch.tv/Riot Games. Saturday, we will see the LPL Week 7 happening in China. Positive Energy kicks it off against Royal Club. It all goes down at 4 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/LPL. Sunday, that will be the GPL Grand Finals. They will take place. Catch all the action over on lolesports.com. Monday, that will see the Dream League continuing with Na'Vi playing against Team Empire. That all goes down from 6:30 p.m. CEST. Head over to twitch.tv/Dream League. And finally, Tuesday, we have the second Love TV Star League starting at 10 p.m. KST. That will be over at twitch.tv/SniperLot3. That's all the news we have for you tonight. As always, if you have any news you would like to share, please email news@esgntv.com. Thanks for watching. Fight Night is up next.